Hey guys, this is Gabe Luchador Flyco. Today we've got a Straggle string bugger. It's a cool pattern. You can fish it like a leech. You can move it quick like a minnow. This thing is awesome. It's kind of like a guide fly in the sense that you can tie a dozen of these in like less than an hour. And they're just an easy pattern. Don't have to get all crazy. It's a lot easier to tie than a woolly booger. But man, I fish this all year for the stalker trout, for bass, bluegill. In the summertime, it's just such an effective pattern and so easy to tie. Okay, so moving forward on this, for this pattern, we're going to be using a black marabou. I know it's a little bit tough to see with that black background. But usually what I like to do is I'll pinch off the tip of it. It gives it a little bit more flow. Sometimes the middle sections can be really stiff, so you don't get the movement that you'd like to see. So sometimes I'll pop that off. On this one, I'm liking how it's looking when it is completely pulled back. I've got some bulk on it, and I can deal with that. So that's not a huge deal. It doesn't have to be perfect. These aren't Instagram flies. It's basically like a guide pattern that is very easy and catches everything. So I'm gonna go for about 2.5 times the length of the shank of the hook. Again, it's all dependent on the hook that you deal with, but this one is a Orvis barbless tactical hook, size 10, but anything that has like this larger hook gap is fine. So in this case, I'm going to measure out, again, 1, 2, and a little bit there, and that's fine with me. I'm going to go ahead and cut this. Clean up the head on that. I'm using 140 denier. This is a size 10 hook. I'm using 140, just gives me a little bit more bulk. Again, this is a pattern where you can literally tie a dozen in front of the TV watching the news. So I'll take that back just short. I'll do one little pass underneath. Kind of brings up the material a little bit. Holds it up instead of falling down. Yeah, that's looking nice there. And I'm going to advance my material a little bit further back. Now I'm going to use our Simplify Ice Straggle chenille. This is 6mm. I think they come in different sizes. It's really bulky, or not necessarily bulky, excuse me, but it's just got a lot of thickness to the material. As you can see, it just really pops. Even though it's a dark color, it's not necessarily a matte finish, so there's a little bit of sparkle to it, which is nice. We're going to tie that down. And again, I'm going to finish off just short of where it starts to bend. And I'm going to start moving forward. And as I go forward on it, I'll brush it back a little bit. And just keep advancing it. And it doesn't have to be like, you can be right next to each other. But as I get further up closer to the head, then that's when I'm going to pull it back and really kind of pull it down a little bit. So it gives a little bit of bulk on the head part. It gives us just a little bit of a fuller face section, if you will. Alright, I'm going to throw this over along as best that I can with the camera in the way. Okay. I'm not going to cut it all the way as far as when I'm pushing again. Scissors, hold them open about halfway. You slowly push it, just give a little bit of a cut. We don't want to cut, the top part of the materials. Okay, so we get that done, and do a little whip finish, and there you go. Again, quick, easy. This thing's gonna pulse around, it's gonna move around. When it gets wet, looks like a nice little leech, just kind of pulsating, or if you strip it fast, it looks like a minnow going through the water. But then this, again, is a straggle string bugger. Catches everything. Trout, bluegill, bass down here in Texas. It's awesome on stalkers. Just love this pattern because of how easy it is to tie.